Okay, so I'm going to talk about written communications. Written communication has been with us as a whole from a very, very long time. Uh, we can see remains of written texts that talk about other written texts from even before BC uh, that will be in different shapes of letters, but in any sort of form they will be written in there will be a text still that will be readable for the person that is destined to read that text. um, so all these texts differentiate them in ages and in the people uh, who should read it. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the ages that differentiate these types of text. From around 1970 to today, we see text in digital form or email, as to say. Um, these texts are now widely used and everyone knows how to use those. But before 1970, around 1970, people will still use letters because computers that would exist in that time but were not as cheap as they are now. um, they will still use letters or telegrams, or in any sort of case even before that they will use Morse code that will be then translated to text and shipped to the person that must read that text. And so we go. Lettermans that traveled long, long distances only to ship messages between nations that will still be crazy expensive, but that's the point, that they are still written text. Um, and then the other classification between text will be the person who should read the text that I'm writing. So if I'm writing a text for my boss at work, um, I will not use any abbreviations and any sort of slang terms because it sort of have to be some sort of not sort it has to be a professional language. And if I'm writing to a friend, I can use abbreviation and slang terms and even some sort of language that I use with that person. That will be the two major classifications between text, and there will be more and more classifications, but we don't need them really, so that is what I wanted to say.